My best friend and I married into the all-powerful Montgomery family in this city. I wed Gabriel, heir to the family enterprise, while she married Oliver, the red-hot A-list actor taking the entertainment industry by storm. She stared at the paparazzi photos of Oliver dining with his white moonlight, then looked at me, her voice tight with pain. You want to get a divorce? Once we're free, we'll each grab to male models and travel the world. I stared at the press release announcing his white moonlight as the new face of Montgomery Enterprises. With a hardening heart, I said, let's do it. Leela and I sat side by side on the spacious couch, scrolling through our phones when her fingers froze on the screen. I leaned over. Holy hell. A top gossip site had snapped her husband Oliver having dinner with Sophia, the fresh-faced ingenue who'd just returned from abroad. They were arm in arm, cozy as could be. Sophia was the Montgomery brothers' shared white moonlight, their families being old friends since we'd married into the family. She'd existed only in our sweetly naive mother-in-law stories. Sophia never calls me. One of you should ask when she's coming home. After all, I'd always been Leela's shadow. She studied science, so I did too. She went to Z University, so I followed. When she married into the Montgomerys, I trotted right along after her, but my husband hadn't died with his white moonlight. Was divorce really necessary? As I hesitated, she upped the ante. Oliver gave me his salary card. I can support you. Once we're divorced, to male models each, traveling the world. Temptation. 40 male models sounded nice, but to probably not as good as Gabriel. 10 male models, temptation, 80. My eyes widened, the word yes hovering on my lips until my last shred of reason egged me back. A notification pinged. The headline blared, rising star Sophia named Montgomery Group's annual spokesperson, contract rumored at $50 million. The photo showed her at the signing ceremony with Gabriel, smiling radiantly triumphant behind her. My damn husband stared at her with a depth he'd never given me. Every time I cracked a joke or acted silly, he'd look at me like I was nuts and say, "What's wrong with you? That did it. Let's divorce." Leela lit up, immediately calling the lawyers. He rattled off property division terms like a pro. When she mentioned taking half the Montgomery fortune, my eyes bugged out. How much was that? She even haggled with the lawyer over the phone. 2 divorces, so 20 off, right? No wonder she was the boss and I was the sidekick. She was sharp. I stared at my phone wallpaper, our wedding photo. I felt a twinge of reluctance. Gabriel did provide more than money, other pleasures too. I piped up weakly, make sure the male models are good. Leela turned, her expression freezing, lost in fantasy. I pressed on, better than Gabriel. You know? She clapped a hand over her mouth to muffle a gasp, trembling as she pointed behind me before I could turn. A familiar hand grabbed the back of my neck, lifting me like a squawking chick to his side. His voice was icy. If I'm so good, why divorce me? I swiveled stiffly to meet Gabriel's frosty gaze. He narrowed his eyes at Leela, as if she'd put me up to this. Sister-in-law, he enunciated, the words heavy. Oliver's on his way. You'd better think how to explain this. Leela froze, plopping onto the couch to panic. She ignored my pleading glances. Where was our crisis mode telepathy? I squirmed under Gabriel's sharp gaze until he softened slightly, the faint smirk playing on his lips though his tone stayed cold. 1 divorce in the family's enough. Let them split, we're staying together. His voice was like a spell. I nodded numbly. All thoughts of divorce and male models vanishing. May sports car roared outside Oliver, the show-off who loved his wheels. A screech of brakes, then he burst in a minute later, still in his period drama costume. Exhaustion etched on his face. He glanced at us. Hey, bro. Sis. So we're just chopped liver. I grumbled inwardly but followed obediently in the car. I asked softly, why Sophia as spokesperson? She just got back, barely any credits. We've got a movie star in the family. They should have avoided her with so many A-listers around. She shouldn't be within a mile of this. Elena, having fulfilled my obsession. Don't stir up trouble with Leela. Sophia's just a childhood friend, nothing more. Nothing more? What about the photo I found in our drawer after we married? I'd shaken as I showed Leela. She'd gone silent, then fetched her own copy. It turned out to be a trio shot, Sophia in the middle, beaming. Gabriel had cropped out his brother on the right, Oliver had cropped out his brother on the left. Typical brothers, that unspoken rapport. I said no more, cranked up the music, and stared out the window. Gabriel, paranoid I'd contact Leela, took me to his company. Watching my every move in meetings, he'd slip me paper and pens to doodle behind him. Behind his gold-rimmed glasses. He'd focus on the screen, speaking up only to cut to the heart of matters. He'd glance back occasionally, as if saying, bored. Almost done, but this meeting dragged on until I nearly nodded off. I was used to it. This was the man who'd abandoned me on our anniversary at a rooftop restaurant, leaving me with flowers and cake, because a subordinate messed out. I'd called Leela. No point wasting that king-size bed. Finally, his secretary knocked. Ms. Sophia's here. We'll finish details tomorrow. Only Sophia could pull him from work. I followed him to meet her at last. I googled her, 25, spotless record. No scandals. Not even a peep that she was a Lennox. Her family clearly shielded her in a white dress. She looked identical to her 18-year-old photo. I almost got it. Any man would melt for that pure innocence. Gabriel, she trilled, ignoring me like I was an irrelevant secretary. Didn't mean to interrupt. Not at all. Perfect timing. He told his secretary to take me to the lounge, adding, get her favorite desserts and fruit tea. Such a sweetheart. Who couldn't be bothered to look at me. The lounge's AC bit into my skin, chilling me to the core. I stared at Leela's dozen missed calls and hit redial. This time, I asked first. Leela, you still want a divorce? A pause, then her firm voice, absolutely. Leela and I met at a bar, drinking ourselves silly. Alana, you know what that bastard Oliver said? He claims he met Sophia to help her find resources since she's new. What about me? I had talent, was rising in the industry. Better than her. And what did marrying him get me? May gag order on working at a husband whose heart's elsewhere. I mumbled. But you got money. Leela, a compulsive spender, was lucky the Montgomerys could afford her. At that, her bleary eyes lit up. She grabbed my hand, bowing like it was an oath. Exactly, I've got money. The Montgomerys only have 2 sons. We'll take half their fortune. Then we can get any man we want. She propped up. You and Gabriel didn't sign a prenup, right? We had before the wedding. Gabriel had handed me a contract in front of his lawyer. I'd been so dazzled by his face and body. I'd signed without reading. Leela groaned. Then we'll only get a quarter. I asked. How much is a quarter? She counted on her fingers. Enough for 10 top-tier male models a day. New ones every time. For life. Me, hell yes. We agreed to divorce once the lawyers drew up papers. The papers waited as we attended our mother-in-law's birthday. Gotta keep up appearances. We showed up glam-med, leaving the brothers gaping. Normally, we'd be glued to their sides, schmoozing. At first, Leela and I thought it was a power play against us, the disappointing daughters-in-law, but no. She genuinely adored Sophia. Rumor had it she'd wanted a daughter, got 2 sons and doted on little Princess Sophia next door. Leela, having fulfilled my obsession, fed up, tugged me to leave, but Sophia glanced over, feigning innocence. I don't think we've met. You introduce me, Aunt? Trapped. She greeted us sweetly, praising Leela's beauty. Please. Leela was stunning. If she'd stayed in the industry, Sophia wouldn't stand a chance. When she turned to me, she sized me up and said, you look like you enjoy good food. I gained a few pounds, sure. Looked curvier next to Leela. But was that a dig? I bit my tongue, but Leela didn't hold back. First time meeting you. Little sister, you're as elegant as a lotus rising from mud. Fitting. In that white dress. Really leans into the White Lotus vibe. Our mother-in-law, clueless, nodded approvingly. Sophia's face flushed, then paled like a mood ring. She said nothing. Just wedged herself between the brothers, chatting away. What a picture-perfect trio. Leela and I exchanged looks. Divorce plans solidified. The banquets warmed with Oliver's investors. Sophia, ever opportunistic, tagged along, simpering as she networked Leela's in the room. Muttering, having fulfilled my obsession. Director who wanted me for his film. I turned it down for love. Boss Wang offered to start a studio for me. I still get emails begging me back. Now she's stealing it all. I should have stayed in the game, she seethed. nearly exploding. The last straw. Sophia openly brushed a lash from Oliver's cheek. Leela snapped. She waited for her chance. Then stomped hard on Sophia's gown. Sophia shrieked, bending down to see a gaping tear in her dress. No nudity. But humiliating at an event like this. Oliver lunged, yanking Leela aside. Leela. What the hell? Why humiliate her? Gabriel approached me. Can you lend her a dress? The first words either brother had spoken to us all night. That was the first thing either of them had said to us all night. I smiled. Sure. You bought them, after all your call. He gave me a long, unreadable look, then waved a hand, telling the housekeeper to take Sophia upstairs to change. Leela grabbed my arm and we bolted from the Montgomery mansion. We peeled out in Oliver's red sports car, hitting 120 miles an hour when we finally stopped. She said, "Screw the papers, we're leaving tomorrow." We were in the Maldives by dawn. This had been our dream honeymoon spot. But Gabriel was always too busy, and Oliver's filming schedule never cleared, so it had fizzled. Now we lounged in the sun, sipping mojitos, blissed out. Our phones blew up non-stop. Oliver texted Leela. Done playing, come home. I already apologized to Sophia for you. We high-fived, shut off our phones, slid off our sunglasses, and scanned the beach for tall, tan foreign guys. When we turned our phones back on, notifications flooded in. They hadn't thought we were serious. Now they were panicking. Oliver went from rage to begging, finally texting, "Divorce means you get half my money. Stay. And it's all yours." I handed Gabriel my phone, trembling. The male model I'd hired yesterday. I'd barely touched his hand. "Tell me it's a lie," he said, "or I'll find him and kill him." I knew he meant it. He was unhinged that way when we first married. I'd worked at a small company, and my boss harassed me. I cried to Gabriel, and the next day, the company folded. That boss got jumped on his way home, ended up with a second-degree disability, and later got shipped to prison for embezzlement. After that, Gabriel wouldn't let me work. Tears spilled over Gabriel. I mean it about the divorce. 3 years married, and work always came first. You missed my birthdays. Left me on our anniversary. He rubbed his forehead. I don't remember that photo. I don't even know when you found it. I never looked at it. I closed my eyes, exhausted. It doesn't matter. I begged for a honeymoon since we married. You always said later. Well, I went without you. Turns out the world's pretty amazing on my own. Let me go. We signed a prenup. I won't take a cent. Gabriel never bowed to anyone. Not even in bed. But now he hung his head, half his face shadowed after an age. He looked up, eyes rimmed dread. Fine, I'll sign. The tension in my chest snapped. I should have felt triumphant. But I just felt hollow. But the dog stays with me. You can visit. I forced a smile. Okay. He picked up the papers. His hand shaking as he signed. Mine shook too, matching his as I left the Montgomery S. I glanced back. Gabriel stood in the doorway, hugging our squirming dog, frozen. Leela fumed. Oliver's such a bastard. He tore up the papers and asked, "Is it about money?" "Stay, and you can spend whatever you want." She'd been devastated 3 years. I gave up my career, played house in that empty mansion. And he thinks it's about cash? She called the lawyer right then, demanding a new agreement. I learned my own money. I'll support Helena myself. Oliver frowned. If not money, why leave? Memories hit like a wave back in college. I'd landed my first role, a tiny part. Him the lad. He was on the cusp of stardom. And I was starstruck, flubbing lines left and right. The director reamed me out, called me worthless. Then Oliver said he wasn't feeling it, suggested a break. I ran backstage, sobbing, ready to quit. I'd woken him up from a nap in the next room. He blinked, asked why I was crying. "I'm terrible. Maybe I'm not cut out for this." He laughed, told me stories. How he'd gotten chewed out early on, how he'd cried backstage too. Look at me now. People rave about my talent. What others say doesn't matter. Believe in yourself. And that's enough. He winked. If the director yells again, I'll yell back. I'm a bigger star. I can get away with it. I'd won that newcomer award because of him. I fell hard. I chased his films, took any role just to be near him. Even when I saw his phone wallpaper, another girl. Even when he'd drop our script to take calls from Sophia. Then one day, he changed his wallpaper, asked me out. I sobbed into my pillow that night, married him. Gave up my rising career to cook and clean, but Sophia's return opened my eyes. Love means fighting to be together. I'd done that. So had Oliver forced love. It crumbles. I snapped back. Did you ever love Sophia? That was years ago. She's just a family friend now. Then why meet her in secret? Why push her career? Why humiliate me in front of her? He froze, scratching his neck. Before he could answer, I cut him off. Save it, divorce is final. I don't want your money, we kept the marriage quiet. No need for a statement, but if you fight me, I'll drag this to court, it'll get ugly. Oliver's face went dark, he mumbled something. I was too mad to hear. Finally. Fine, I don't have a stake in the family business. No shares, but my paychecks? They all went to your card, it's yours. I grabbed my bag and left, colliding with Gabriel in the hallway. The big guy stumbled, embarrassing. Elena was squatting at the door, eyes and lips puffy. Did the dog bite you? I yelped. She buried her face in my chest, wailing. I feel like I'd been chewed up by a dog these 3 years. I hugged her, crying till we were a mess. Snot and tears all over each other. We crashed at her pre-marriage condo. Bought with her acting money, staring at the walls. Want to call some male models? She asked. I shook my head. Tomorrow. I'm beat, those kids chatter too much. Fair, my eyes are too puffy for company. We swiped Oliver's card like it was confetti. Turns out acting pays. His earnings alone could fund our wildest days, no Montgomery money needed. A month later, we were feeding giraffes in Africa when the lawyer called. Divorce is finalized, just need to sign the papers. It was a gorgeous day, matching our moods. Leila and I, tanned to a crisp, showed up to the courthouse swaddled in clothes. The brothers looked tripped, bags under their eyes, awkward. Like they wanted to say something but couldn't. Leila steamrolled through the process, plugging her ears the second we had the papers. She lifted me, spinning. Elena, we're free. We rented out a restaurant, had a candlelit dinner for 2. You know, she slurred. Tipsy, my first candlelit dinner was with Oliver. As if I could forget she'd gotten me a job there. Wanted me to meet a boyfriend. I'd gotten him so drunk. We had to call his brother to pick him up. That's how I met Gabriel. I started to reply, but she shot up, shrieking, good thing we rented the place. No witnesses. She held up her phone, showing a lawyer's text. Elena, you didn't mention your prenup gives you his assets? Huh? I stared. We way richer than the Montgomerys now. Holy shit, you're my hero. Gabriel texted right then. I never thought we'd divorce. I knew you were insecure, so I put 80 in your name. You didn't even read it, you dummy. What if I'd scammed you? My throat closed up. Tears burning. I missed our dog like crazy. A month post-divorce, I was itching to see him. Gabriel texted every few days, come visit the dog. When I ignored him, he sent, irresponsible deadbeat mom. Leila was in the shower when I felt playful. Typing, if I offer to scrub your back, just say thanks. No, who are you? Or how'd you get in? Rude, she replied 5 seconds later. Thanks. AWW. She'd dry her hands for me. Then I noticed the profile pic. Our dog shit. Sent to Gabriel. He'd ever gotten my weird humor before. Now, Thanksgiving. Come scrub. We juiced back. Scrubbing is foreplay. I shook off the thought. Hit delete. Gabriel sent a. I ignored it, staring at his pic. Just to miss the dog, obviously. When Leila got out, we hatched a plan. Steal the dog. The day was perfect. Same as our divorce day. We snuck back to the Montgomerys in hats and masks. Timing it for when my ex was at work, hers filming. And our ex-mother-in-law at Pilates. I was gonna climb the back wall. But Leila rolled her eyes. You know the code, right? Yeah, then why climb? Thievery needs drama, she face-palmed. Keying in the code should be climbed. The door swung open, and there was our ex-mother-in-law. Staring. Leila tugged her hat lower. Voice fake deep, sorry. Wrong house. But the dog smelled me. Tail whacking like a propeller's. He couldn't hold him. Leila? Elena? That you? Why haven't you visited? I missed you. She chased us as we fled. They're not here, stay for dinner. We ran, but by the time we stopped, we were both teary. That mother-in-law of ours, for all her flaws, had been kind. 3 years shed felt like family. Almost. I'd originally planned to climb over the back wall, but Leela looked at me like I was an idiot. You know the code, right? Yeah. Then why climb? Thievery needs ritual. Okay? She rolled her eyes. Keying in the call, what she'd done it 100 times. I'd should have climbed. The door swung open. And there we were, staring down my ex-mother-in-law. 3 pairs of wide eyes, dead silent. Leela yanked her hat brim low, voice warped. Sorry, wrong house. But my dog caught my scent, tail whacking like a helicopter. She couldn't hold him back. Leela? Elena, is that you? Why haven't you visited since the divorce? I missed you. She chased us as we fled. They were not here. Stay for dinner. Leela dragged me away. And by the time we stopped, we were both teary. That mother-in-law, for all her flakiness, had been good to us 3 years. She'd felt like half a mom that night. Gabriel texted, if you want to see the dog, tell my mom, I'll stay out of your way. But no stealing, mortifying. Caught red-handed, but since he'd given permission, I took liberties. I texted my ex-mother-in-law constantly. And she always fussed over us, feeding us like we were still family. Gabriel kept his word. I never saw him. Though from the yard, the second-floor curtains in a room with no open windows twitched like a poltergeist. Leela was plotting her comeback with all our cash sitting idle. We might as well start a talent agency. I nodded hard. I was itching to spend we deep or money into her. Swipe every gig from Sophia. Hell, if genders weren't a thing, we'd poach Oliver's roles too. Becoming her manager felt amazing, busy, purposeful, like reclaiming a part of myself I'd lost. But the comeback was brutal. The second news broke, hit pieces flooded in, eviscerating Leela. No doubt Sophia's were. Cleela threatened her spot. One headline, Tea Leaf star attempts comeback. Wives of married celebs, beware. No names, but every line screamed Leela. Seduced married co-stars, begged Alistair. Got rejected. She paced the living room, fast enough to blur the nerve. She's the one chasing married men. Remember our wedding night? Oliver and I were about 2 when she calls, sobbing about missing her mom. I smacked him so hard, the bruise lasted 10 days. I gave her a standing ovation. Then IBO exploded. Oliver responded. She dusted off his private account. Inactive for years, as an Alistair. I've never been begged. As a married man. Never seduced. The photo? A backstage shot. Leela took ages ago. Oliver napping. She'd stored it in her phone, no clue when he found it. Leela passed out on the desk. I was about to open the door when a sleazy voice oozed through. Leela's stunning. Isn't she? You handpicked her for the lead. Mr. Montgomery. We knew you'd take a shine to her. Gabriel's gaze turned icy. I don't. Sebastian, clearly thinking Gabriel was playing hard to get, leaned in, voice slimy. She's drunk. Want to remember a thing. And no one here will talk. Rule 1 of survival. Never assume you know what the boss wants. Gabriel's face went stone cold. I'd seen this look before when he'd taken down that pervy boss of mine. This time it was scarier. He said nothing, picked up a wine glass. Waited, then a decanter. Finally, he grabbed the biggest bottle and smashed it into Sebastian's face. Sebastian yelped once, then clammed up. Gabriel stood slowly, pinching Sebastian's neck. Slamming him against the wall, his knuckles bulged. Sebastian gurgled. Unable to speak, blood trickled onto Gabriel's hand. Bright, shocking. I snapped out of it, lunging to grab his arm. My voice shook. Gabriel, Paichi. Stop, he heard me. His expression softening, but his grip didn't loosen. This man, unhinged, might do worse. I wrapped my arms around him from behind, whispering, I'm okay. Please stop, you race carrying me. He let go instantly, turning to look down at me. My hair, damp from a quick wash, stuck to my face. He brushed it back gently with his clean hand. Are you all right? Did you drink too much? His tenderness made me want to cry. The bottle smash had roused Leela. She blinked, disoriented. Where am I? Gabriel, Elena. Call the cops. Arrest all the Montgomerys. She swayed. Gabriel pushed her into a chair, leaving us alone, staring at each other. Me, I should go. Gabriel grabbed my wrist. Voice hurt. Then why'd you hug me? Emergency. He pulled me onto his lap, burying his face in my neck, voice muffled, tearful. I. He nuzzled me, warm and fuzzy, just like our dog. I never wanted Sophia, not once heard it begged for the endorsement. I couldn't say no. And that photo? I racked my brain, then beat it out of Oliver. Turns out we fought that day, so we each cut the other out. I don't know about Oliver, but I never loved her, only you. I was obsessed with work. Never again. 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Only work, the rest is yours. I've even read those weird memes of yours. I'll get your jokes. Please, look at me, wife. He cupped my face, eyes wide and hopeful, more puppy than man. My resolve wavered. Leela woke up livid. It'd been ages since I'd dreamt that much. Married to Oliver, I'd gotten used to being a caged bird. I blinked awake. This wasn't my apartment. I recognized it, though before marriage, Oliver and I had a fling here. We hunted for privacy, never ran into neighbors. Turns out it wasn't luck. He bought the whole building. Oliver was splayed on a mattress on the floor, sleeping posture as atrocious as ever. Back in the day, he'd smother me with limbs nightly. I got up, smacked him. He yelped, sitting up, eyes puffy as walnuts. Why am I here? You called. Drunk, crying, begged me to pick you up. Bullshit. I hurled a pillow at him. Why are you here? Mom says I'm useless. Lost my wife. Lost my savings. Too ashamed to go home. I rubbed my temples, grabbing my coat. He shot up, grabbing my arm. Stay for breakfast. Fine. I was starving. I never thought Oliver was sharp until that breakfast. Smart people. I realized. Don't waste words. He held up jam. My beautiful, ruthless ex loved this size to heart-shaped egg, my heart. Meet the pretty knife that split it. TV showed my commercial. Ever seen someone this gorgeous? Just me? Then Sophia's ad came on. The room iced over. I smirked. Keep going. I dare you. He set down his fork, dropping the axe. Stared straight at me. I liked Sophia, back then, not gonna lie, but the second we started dating, every thought, every plan, room for her. I get you want freedom, a career, but she never threatened us. Not really. I stood up. Breakfast was over. He didn't follow, just called softly. You'll come back, right? I paused. Didn't he look? I felt like a traitor. Leela did tear me apart, but when I told her I kissed Gabriel last night, she shrugged. Yeah, figured. Gabriel looks at you like you're his pulse. Knew you to circle back. Then why'd you push me to divorce? Because you'd never see how much he loved you otherwise. You'd just stew, insecure. Overthinking. She was right. Without this mess, I'd never know Gabriel was, well, a lovesick puppy. I nudged her. What about you and Oliver? She shook her head. Not now. Focusing on work, but if you and Gabriel make up, don't ditch me. Still need my manager. I grove led instantly, rubbing her shoulders. Then froze. A big red mark on her neck. I held up a mirror. 3 seconds later, she screamed, Oliver. I covered my ears as she dialed, unloading a tirade. Pervert, creep, old dog. No filter. Her arm got tired. She put it on speaker, still going. Oliver didn't dare interrupt. Finally, she paused for water. He piped up. Tentative. Scratch it. See if it itches? She did. Went quiet. It does. Oliver barely contained a laugh. Crazy thought. Maybe it's a mosquito bite. Though if you want to call me the mosquito, I won't argue. Leela hung up, red as a tomato. I collapsed on the couch, cackling. I still lived with Leela. Gabriel hated it until Oliver bribed him with cars. Suddenly, he tolerated her. I accompanied Leela to gigs, often getting home past midnight, even at 3 a.m. Gabriel waited downstairs, pulling me into hugs. Wife, let me buy your agency. Then all the artists work 9 to 5, 5 days. No overtime. I tiptoed, patting his hair. No can do. He softened instantly. Gabriel's easy to pacify, like training a golden retriever. Leela is swamped. Every project she's in, Oliver crashes as a guest star. Even a palace drama, he played a eunuch, just to be near her. On set, I watched him hunch, clutching her hand, croaking, Your Majesty. Leela channeled, radiating, I'm back. Bitches. The director yelled cut. Leela kicked his knee. Eunuch, act like one. Thou lower your ear to tall, and stop groping my hand. Oliver pouted. Silent crew jaws hit the floor after the scene. Gabriel texted. He was picking me up for dinner. I asked Leela to join, she waved me off. Third wheel, no thanks. Oliver perked up, obsequious. I'll come. Not a wheel at all, Leela grumbled, but didn't say no. The restaurant was special for all of us. Leela and Oliver's first dinner, my first meeting with Gabriel, a post-divorce celebration. Tonight felt different. Oliver took Leela's verbal lashing. I laughed. I turned and caught Gabriel staring, grinning like he'd won the lottery.